It's a February 2021 model, and as I said, I'm going to compare this with the latest one which is coming up, but we have still seen only some spy shots and some few more static pictures on the internet. So the very first thing, front fascia obviously has changed. And the ground clearance etc. remains the same, which is about 190 mm. We didn't have any problem with the speed arms or uneven roads and so on and so forth, right? So and Hyundai is always known for its design. I don't know, that's a normal thing. Always any car, including the small car, the design is always very good, and it's all LED setup what they have right now. And do we have here any halogen setup here? I think
Yes.
yeah, so one is halogen, this part is halogen here.
Yes.
Yeah, so otherwise nowadays everything is all LED. That's one more change. 17 inches wheel. The only difference is the base versions get with 16 inches steel wheel, and then I think from S onwards it comes as alloy wheels, and 17 inches is the norm right now what they have, which is good enough, right?
Fair enough.
Ground clearance is about 190 mm, which is more than enough. And then the boot is 433 liters, and comes with the split seat, right?
It comes with split seat, 60/40.
Yeah, 60/40, so it's good, very good. And so that's a look from the back. And the spare wheel goes here. It's a full size or one less? The spare wheel is actually one less, which is 16 inches as such. And yeah, so the remaining, this are all 17 inches what we see here. And this is a 1.5 liter petrol engine which churns out a good 115 PS of power and 143 Newton meter of torque. And we also have diesel, which is 116 PS and 250 Nm of torque. And as I said, there's a new one, also a turbo version which is coming up in petrol, which is going to give around 158 bhp and 253 Nm of torque. So that's going to be the thing. And yeah, the vehicle also back, as I said, there's a change, so that's going to be a connected tail light. And obviously the sensors, everything all the same. The new other safety feature is the ADAS to level 2, which is there as far as the new model is concerned, right? And space wise, of course, a lot of chubby holes for bottles to keep 1 liter bottle. The interior backspace and all, of course there's a armrest with cup holder, without cup holder.
Yeah, there's a cup holder as well. Yeah,
the cup holder.
No,
you covered it.
I covered it. Yeah.
Okay, but otherwise it's got good enough space back, and it comes with a charge port here. It's a USB, and then of course you have the rear AC vents, and then you have the air purifier, right? So that's there. And yeah, so that's the 8-inch infotainment system, and you have the automatic. This is an automatic version what we're driving with a manual plus and minus. Then you have the parking electronically assistance, and then of course you have the auto hold, reverse view. It's not 360 degree camera, which is what Anand was also talking to me, that it's good to have a 360 degree camera. Not the base versions, of course, but then the other versions definitely have it, which is very useful because for parking and for looking at the side curves and everything, it's very useful.
Right.
And yeah, so this instrument cluster also has undergone a change. It's fully digital now in the new one. Then of course there are cruise controls. You have controls for the system, and then of course you have the door where all the controls for the windows are, which is typical. Now there's no change here. And then this is the 8-inch what we talked about, and the new one we have 10.25. So the Seltos currently what I reviewed also had 10.25. The same thing is going to come in the new one. Then we have the charge ports here. You have 12 volt as such, and then you have 2 USBs, right?
Yeah.
You don't have a C port here, but again the new ones have the C port as well. So that's another change which is there. And then the glove box is cooled glove box.
Yes.
Right, that's very useful. Then of course you have the place to keep your whatever knickknacks, bills and change and so on, so forth. Is it adjustable?
No, this is not.
It's not movable, right? It's
and then you have an air purifier.
Then you have the air purifier. Okay, that's the air purifier what we have. So that's nice. You use that very automatic it is, or
it's automatic.
It's just automatic. But I see some controls here. So it's on and right. Okay, so sufficient place, and then under thigh support is yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, but how do you feel driving in long journeys? People are comfortable sitting.
I haven't heard any issues.
Complaints. Okay,
Yeah, I haven't heard any
there's
complaints.
no complaint as such. Okay, so that's fine.
Comfortable enough.
Comfortable, right? Okay, so 5 people, adults can travel around.
Five
some
adults can easily
Are
travel.
easily travel. Okay, that's great. Okay, so that's the interior, and this is the auto dimming IVRM internal mirror, which is auto dimming day and night mirror, right?
Yes.
So that's very useful actually. So, and then of course again everywhere you have bottle holders, which is nice. And you said it's 4 speakers and 2 tweeters. I can see.
Yes, we have 2
Okay,
tweeters.
so when we're coming, we talked about 4 speakers, but also we have 2 tweeters there, right? So
There's one more tweeter here.
Tweeter in this side as well. So it's basically 4 speakers and 2 tweeters in this model.
Yes.
Right now, the new one also is there, but now we're getting about 8 speakers is what they talked about. So, and this Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, is it wired or wireless?
Android is wireless.
Okay,
AirPlay is wired.
wired. Okay, so your phone is iPhone right now.
Yes, mine
So
is.
you
So
kind
I
of
need to
connect it,
connect it. The
Connect
wired.
it. And there's an inbuilt navigation.
Inbuilt navigation is there, which is Map My India, which I urge Hyundai to move to Google Map,
Google Map. Okay.
which is one thing we often
Have you
miss.
tried Map My India's Map My LS app?
No, I
It's a
have.
very nice app. I tried last week.
Uh-huh.
It shows you even speed breakers,
Oh, really?
and it actually is correct.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So, can you play the music system? Both speakers are Bose speakers. That's nice. Okay, good. So speaker system is good, and it comes with 2 airbags in this model. But there are now, as I said, the new Hyundai models, most of them from Exter, they have come with 6 airbags right from base version, and a couple of models, the top models also come with a dash cam with a camera, right, which is a very useful.
Very, very useful thing.
And my suggestion to you, Anand, also to install a dash cam.
Yes,
It's
thank you for that. I plan to do it.
Essential item. If you ask me, somebody what they need to have in the car, I think dash cam is important.
Thank you for that. I'll definitely get it done.
Yeah. So the front wheel as well as the back wheel comes with the disc brakes. So both of them come with the disc brakes, which is nice.
Sorry.
So right now, if you look at this instrument cluster, of course it's got the cruise control as well. Then of course the traction control. Right, traction control is there. Then of course you have the paddle shift as well. Paddle shifts plus and minus. Okay, and then of course this is your 8-inch infotainment system with, of course, you have the modes here. So the modes what we have, which is for the 3 modes: the sport, eco, and then the comfort mode, right?
Yes.
Comfort mode. So that's what we have. Okay, so there you can see. So 3 modes are there. Okay.
There is a tire pressure monitoring
Tire
system.
pressure. Okay, TPM is also there.
TPMS is also.
TPM is also there, which is very good also because it's
Yes.
really required from the safety point of view.
Yes.
Right? So have you had a situation where you ran out of, it showed some warnings and then you have to go and update it?
So initially, first 6 months, I realized that the TPMS system was giving a lot of false alarm. And when I cross-checked it with the service station, they asked me to flatten the tire and again fill it.
Fill it, okay.
And then eventually the whole
okay,
it worked.
okay. So this is the 1.5 liter
Yes.
engine, and pretty efficient, right, engine?
Right.
Yeah. So I think not much of change has happened right now in the new one also. It's the same engine which is coming up. It's just that there is also a turbo offering, which is going to be useful. So they'll have 3 engines to choose from, right? And then obviously from the gearbox we have the manual, the automatic, and then you also have the IMT. So I'm going to drive this vehicle for a short distance, see how it works. This vehicle got launched in 2015, right? And then about 2016, I did a test drive of a diesel vehicle. Because I got confused whether its vehicle was petrol or diesel. Okay, so I asked him, "Is it diesel?" He said, "Yes, sir."
But it was so silent.
So silent it was.
That's good.
So so it was a pretty refined engine, right? So that's the best part of it. Yeah, this is good. Pickup is nice. It's a good engine. I'm aware of. I'm kind of familiar with this engine. And the one which I test drove was a diesel engine. Even then, it was pretty refined. And you see, it's pretty good. Yeah,
You
so
recently did Seltos also, right?
Seltos last week.
How do you compare the driving?
Yeah, so it was also very. I mean, of course, it's the December 23 model. That's just this month's model, right? So it was brand new with all the updates. Almost everything was there, and the drive etc. is much more. What do you call? There is. I told you the suspension is definitely they've tweaked a little bit compared to this one.
Right.
Okay. But otherwise, in terms of features, I think it's much more because obviously there's an update, and in terms of drivability, you would have seen in the video. Okay, let's see. This is the hump.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's okay.
Not bad.
Not bad. Yeah. Yeah. So otherwise, in fact, this looks much higher compared to Seltos. If I'm sitting positioned right, this looks much more on the higher side compared to Seltos, but maybe Seltos a little lower. That's what my feeling. Otherwise, view etc. everything was fine, and then feature wise, of course, it's got loaded right now. A lot of 360 cameras, and then ADAS level 2 and so on and so forth, which is what is coming up, which is already there in the current model. I think it's ADAS level 1. I'm not sure, but definitely in the new one, ADAS level 2 is there, and 360 cameras and so on, right? So feature wise, a lot of changes. Engine wise, as I told you already, there is a turbo version which is being offered, so which is going to be good. Now this particular car I'm driving, it's, as I said, it's comfortable, it's refined engine, absolutely no noise from outside.
How is the pickup?
Why didn't you go for diesel? What was the reason why you didn't go? I mean, you picked up a petrol.
That time, the diesel engines were on the decline.
Okay.
Right. Economically, it was not making much of a sense, and then some of the bigger players started moving out of diesel.
Diesel, okay.
Because of the whole government.
Yeah. So you said the diesel you didn't go because you don't drive too much long distance. That's the reason why you went for petrol vehicle, right? Okay, so this vehicle drives well. I think there's a rough patch here. Let's see how it drives here. Yeah, you can hear a little bit of rumbling inside, right? Okay, so this is what I think they've tweaked a little bit now. Okay, and made a little more on the it's somewhere in the midpoint right now. So it takes care of both the city and the highway. So that's what I feel. Yeah, I could feel the rumbling in the cabin. Can you hear?
Yes,
yeah,
I can. This is one thing I think they can definitely.
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, it throws around a little bit. Yes, it throws around. Pickup is fantastic, no issues. Very, very clear transmission. You don't feel any jerk in terms of the changing as such. It's just smooth. It is. Pickup, wow! It just picks up.
Yeah, try moving to turbo mode now. You'll feel little difference.
Comfort. I'm the sports mode.
You have to move the other way around. Yes, now sport mode.
Yeah, it just flies.
You feel that little difference?
Yeah, it is. It's nice. But then obviously mileage will go for a toss.
Yes.
Right? And eco mode, how it is? Like, does
eco is the normal mode.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a good, not very, it doesn't really bring down your drive experience. Like some of the vehicles, for example, if you get into eco mode, you will feel it really slows down the vehicle in terms of the response and other things. Yeah, it's okay.
That's not the case here.
That's not the case. That's what I'm trying to say. That's not the case. Okay, so that's good. So you're a happy person, right, with this vehicle?
Right, I'm definitely.
How does your wife find driving this?
Wife also finds it lot better. Right. Again, automatic mode.
Automatic mode.
She's more happier than me driving this.
All right, good.
And the other thing that you like for the price that you pay, Nanda, for all the.
What was the on-road price for this one?
Back then it was 20, approximately 20.
20?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think now the prices would have gone.
Yeah, it is definitely high, because they can't go beyond the Seltos.
Right.
Okay, so it has to be in the range up below that, right? So it's kind of, that's a checkpoint for them. So it starts about 10.15, 10.16 extra room kind of thing. E. But then that's a base version. So typically people will go for this version so that it's got most of it what is required, and Okay, so that's good. So it's also easy to drive on the cities, right? Because it's
right. You can maneuver them
easily. The steering is It's light, but at the same time it's responsive. I mean, I could get the feel.
Yes.
It's not an issue. Controls are economically kept in right places, right?
Right.
And wireless charging works.
Wireless charging works. Yes.
And is it very slow or normal charging?
No, wireless charging typically is slower. And this one I feel that it is in fact again I think whatever support that they give underneath it's little slower.
Okay. And how's the calls when you take speaker sound?
No, that I think they have done a decent job here, particularly with the infotainment system that they have here.
Okay.
There is that sort of I feel there is little bit of noise cancellation while my kids are around, they're talking.
That's
it kind of gets cancelled out.
Okay.
So decent noise cancelling as well.
Cancellation. Okay, good.
But how do you compare this with other competitors now, right? Say XUV7. You did recently XUV700.
XUV700 feature is it's slightly on a different class altogether.
Okay.
It's slightly on the higher side. If you want to compare this, it has to be with, let's say, Seltos. Or for that matter, let's say your Skoda Kushaq.
Kushaq. Okay.
Now I did the review of Kushaq. It's a 5-star car. But then when you compare, let's say the comfort features, right? This scores definitely on top.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
And for the price you pay also.
Yeah, it's a little pricey. It's pricey. So one of the reasons why Kushaq, it's a good car, definitely. There's no doubt about it. It's fantastic, drives well, and it has got the turbo version. All those things are great. The features, typical German, right? It's like
not too many.
It's very functional, and but in terms of safety, it's spot on. It's too good.
Makes sense.
That is there, and so when you compare these features to there, I mean, there's a lot of things going here compared to that one.
Right.
So that's a difference. Okay.
Makes sense.
And so that's one. Similarly, we have Taygun also.
No, but how about the power and all?
Power delivery, even if it's a 1 liter, the one which I tested drove was a 1 liter turbo, but that it has got real power. It was almost 140, I think it was bhp, if you remember correctly.
Okay.
And just takes off, and it was too good, and so that was fine. So that's one thing. So you have Seltos, Kushaq, Taygun. These are all the kind of cars to be compared with this one. So in terms of features, if you ask me which are the top ones, like this and Seltos will be on top. Then you have the Kushaqs and Tayguns, because
of the world,
they are very good in terms of driving dynamics and safety and other things. Feature-wise, for the price, I think it's definitely not good, because you can have much more features, but they don't have. That is what it is.
Makes sense. That's a great summary.
Yeah. And then there's another very important thing, where these and Seltos scores is the service centers.
Right.
Okay. So, for example, Skoda has just got about 4 or 5 maximum service centers in Bangalore. Now compare that to the Hyundai as Kia motors, right? So that is something which a lot of people look for, because otherwise if you don't have too many service centers, then there's an issue.
And what we heard is the spare parts also for Skoda.
Yeah, I mean, basically it all boils down to after sales service centers. The ones which have more service centers, like the Marutis, the Tatas, the Hyundais and Mahindras and all, right, they succeed because of the wide network of service centers they have,
right,
which is a big thing which for all manufacturers. For example, even Renault, if you take, the cars are great in terms of driving, for the Indian roads, and the suspension is fantastic and all these things, okay? But then service centers, yes, limited. So that is where they all struggle to, compete with the big players.
Right.
So that's where we are right now. Hyundai obviously is number 2 right now, right? In India, after Maruti. So that's right. Only thing is, the service cost for people whom I've interviewed, as well as I know, is the service cost compared to Maruti,
right,
is definitely on higher side.
Or for Hyundai? Okay.
Yeah. So the Maruti service is definitely on a slower this thing, but they will always compare this with the safety.
No, but then what I realized, the experience,
the fit and finish of interiors.
Exactly.
There, Hyundai obviously scores much higher, because the features of Hyundai interiors, design language, everything is always better. Right from beginning.
Makes sense.
Right from the Santros Zing and so on, right? You see their cars will always be looking attractive. So that's the difference as such. Okay, so this car drives well. City driving is not an issue, and visibility is great. then heavy traffic, no problems at all. Like what you said, your wife also can drive aram se without any issues, right? And so that is good. And yeah, so mileage wise, I think if you are a very defensive driver, easily you can get about two figures, double figures, right?
Yeah,
2-digit.
You should be
10
able
to
to get
10 to 11 kilometers easily you'll get in city itself,
which
right?
is best in class.
Which is best in class. I think that's fine. And then waiting period, it's not much, isn't it? Because if you say you are just about a month to 2 months, what you had at the time. I think now I'm not sure what is the latest. That's why I tried to contact that the guy in the Advait near Outer Ring Road. He didn't. He gave only some partial information. Maybe he wants me to come to the come to the showroom itself to get more details. Okay, so anyway, that's nice. Okay. That's good. So Anand, thank you so much for this interview, and for this time you spent with me on this drive, giving all the details about your car. I'm sure this will be very useful for all the viewers as well, right? And a lot of information is available on the internet, right? But then hearing from the owners directly makes a lot of difference, and that's what the objective of this particular channel, where you talk to the owners directly and get the information, so that we get all the good things as well as bad things as well, so that it goes as a feedback to the manufacturer, and also the users who are planning to buy the car get a good information, and they're in a better position to decide which car to go for, right? So that's the main objective of this particular channel. I hope you enjoyed this, and until my next video, thank you and so much. Bye bye. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you so much.